bet of the fight. Now the AT gun has repositioned. Panther will be driving back and away from that area. That will most probably mean its death should it stay there longer. KC-8s or Ninth Cross holders are out by the Wehrmacht player, take down the HMG team of the American player in the north, and will be capping back the medium fuel point there. A mortar goes down to the fire to the grenade thrown by the VET-3 Rifleman Squad. VET-3 Rifleman Squad with 32 infantry kills, now focusing down flame pioneers. That's repairing the Sherman. Second squad of flame pioneers goes down. Is there going to be a third squad of pioneers going down? Let's see. No, the Wehrmacht player retreats, has learned its lesson and goes back, although the sticky gets thrown. Massive damage on the Panther. Damaged engine. False Grenadiers trying to close in on the position of those VET-3 riflemen, trying to take them head on. It's not going to work. Seems that the squad know the False Grenadiers are going to be surviving. However, the Panther probably won't, since the M10 has closed in the position. Another rocket, no, actually this is registered artillery on the strategic sector outside of the Wehrmacht player's base. Actually heavily damages the Sherman with no engine damage, however, and heavily damages the M10 with no engine damage as well. So those tanks are going to be fine. They're going to be getting back near the position of the American engineers, going to be repaired soon, although there will be some downtime for their presence on the field, but that is of course something that the American player can of course take with ease, since he has inflicted massive damage on the Wehrmacht player. He destroyed the Panther, he destroyed an Ostwind previously, he killed a couple of pioneer squads that actually helped keep his tanks alive. He even inflicted manpower loss on him in the form of killing 4 members of a Volksgrenadier squad, and he did not lose anything at all. His VET-3 Rifleman squad is still there, his Sherman is still there, his M10 is still there, and he even has another M10 on the field. So looks things start to look quite grim for the Wehrmacht player, and at this time, provided that he does not have a super duper tank to call in because he's defensive, he'll have to rely on what unit he can get out of his existing full tech tree, I would say, with the exception of course of tier 3. He has everything else. So he replenished his Panther. He even has a Pak 38 on the field. So a Panther in conjunction with a Pak may actually prove quite enough to take on the American armor. However, he needs to be wary of stickies, and he needs to be wary of that VET-3 Rifleman Squad and all the other Rifleman squads that may be nearby, because this Panther is going to be a high value target for the American infantry and the American armor, and it's going to be focused down from all of them. Howitzer shoot coming down on the Wehrmacht position manages to kill the Pak, and actually did just that. It did not even destroy the Pak, so that can be read crude, of course. Panther trying to back off and taking some shots on the riflemen. And this is an interesting thing. The riflemen are actually attacking the Pak gun, and they actually destroy it, which is a very clever thing to do by the American player, since that Pak could prove devastating for the American armor. Even KCH trying to move in towards the position of those riflemen, not seem to be doing anything, will have to be retreating immediately. Panther is repaired, American infantry retreats, KC-8 in the west version of the map trying to harass the victory points of the American player that stand at 65 against 448 right now. Did seem to work. but the M4 Sherman made its way there, but 2 M4 Sherman by the way, and drove off those pesky KC-8s. Rocket barrage coming down on the position of the AT gun near the center of the map is gonna destroy, is gonna decrew the gun and destroy it as well. And the Panther actually destroyed the M10, so we have 2 M10s down for the American player and an AT gun down as well. However, his rifleman, his Vet 3 rifleman squad still around, one of his AT guns still around, his M4 Sherman still around, but now the Wehrmacht player has 3 KC-8 squads on the field, and that's gonna be a menace to deal with, especially for anything other than that Vet 3 rifleman squad. We're currently at the 34-minute, 12, 13, 14, 15 second mark, and should the Wehrmacht player stay with this unit composition, meaning KC-H and Panther, that means he's most probably gonna be coming back and even putting a lot of pressure on the American player who does have to utilize those vetted riflemen to the fullest in order to be able to stay in this game. No veterans, by the way, for the Wehrmacht player. No veterans in his tanks, no veterans in his infantry, and even has his Kampfkraft center up. So I guess he got this Kampfkraft center up, but then he realized that he needed to field more units instead of getting veterancy. And that seems to be exactly the case for why he does not actually have veterancy on anything. Grenade going down, KC-8s being focused fire, one of them is going to be retreating, the rest are going to be staying around. The Wehrmacht player even used for the fatherland in the meantime. However, for a split second the KC-8s were out of his territory, so they did not receive the benefits of for the fatherland. So at this time it was when they took most of the damage. Kind of an unfortunate move there by the Wehrmacht player, and now the American player is going to be staying around with that Vet 3 rifleman squad. Most probably is going to be using some stickies on it. Should he? No, he won't be doing so. He is moving kind of back with his I'm not sure what he's trying to do with his Vet 3 rifleman squad there. They're kind of able to move in and sticky that Panther, and he even has 2 AT guns now on the field and the M4 Sherman, so that Panther should be easy to take on with. However, there's a second Panther on the field, so there you go. There is where all the manpower the Wehrmacht player has goes to tanks, and I'm not so sure about that second Panther on the field. I'm kind of confident that the one Panther was enough to take on the Sherman and the AT guns, since the AT guns could be dealt with KC-8s or even a rocket barrage. But whatever. Get to Shermans. I don't know. Does he so desperately need to take out the M4 Sherman? And he needs 2 Panthers? I'm not so sure. Seems to be the Wehrmacht player seems to be making his move right now. Tries to take on the M4 Sherman, the AT guns and all that. American forces head on. Rocket barrage coming down on the position of the AT gun. Kind of unnecessary in my opinion, since that AT gun was kind of low on health. However, the barrage destroys the AT gun, the Panthers destroy the Sherman, and the remaining AT guns by the American player are 2 in number, and there's even an M10 helping out. M10 trying to kill KC-8s and actually manages to do so by crashing them, so that's a heavy loss for the Wehrmacht player, losing one of his 3 KC-8 squads. However, the American player needs to pay attention to his victory points that are going to be going down shortly. That squad of grenadiers capped the central victory point. We have another KC-8 squad moving towards the west victory point, and that's going to mean if the Wehrmacht player gets all 3 victory points in his control the victory points are going to be done so quickly. We have even a mortar by the Wehrmacht player out, so that mortar is going to be crucial in taking out the position of the 80 guns of the American player. 80 guns that are now 3 in number, so 3 80 guns against 2 Panthers with the support of some Vet 3 riflemen throwing stickies and an M10 circle strafing them and taking shots on their rear armor are going to be more than enough to take care of those 2 Panther tanks. The Wehrmacht player has used quite a lot of rocket barrages, so his munition situation may be such that he is not able to afford anymore, and in that case you will have to deal with the 80 guns in some form some other way, and that other way is either the mortar or the KC-8s, but if the 80 guns are backed up by the riflemen, KC-8s are not going to be working out, especially the Vet 0 mortar is his only hope, and seems to be trying to make a move now. Wehrmacht player moving out with his Panthers, taking on the M10, trying to focus fire down, and that is actually going to happen. One Panther taking damage, second Panther taking damage, 3 80 guns covering the middle of the map. American player needs to go and throw a grenade at the mortar, most probably, because that mortar is crucial to the Wehrmacht player, and that's exactly what he's doing. He throws the grenade, and that mortar is gonna go. No, it's not gonna go down. So there you go, a unit going down by the Wehrmacht player. Some squad was trying to cap the central victory point, and rifleman back into the action, throwing another grenade at the mortar. That mortar is toast. KC-8's trying to move in against the Vet 3 rifleman. I don't think that is gonna work. Panthers getting repaired. No more Shermans for the American player. No more M10s for the American player, just 80 guns, that legendary Vet 3 rifleman squad and a single squad of engineers back into his base. He now even gets another rifleman squad out of his barracks. The American player realizes that he does need to hold down on the victory points with what way he can. He does realize the most immediate threat right now is KC-8's trying to cap those victory points, and he is responding to that by getting infantry of his own. Tanks, the Panthers, at this moment I do not really think they're going to be effective. The American player, however, does not really have munitions. He used all of his munitions in attempting to drive off KC-8 that was capping the medium, the middle victory point. So he cannot use AP rounds, he cannot really use stickies for the moment being. He can throw grenades though. Mortar still lying there. Yes, the mortar is still there. That mortar could get recruited and be used by the Wehrmacht player in order to fire on some AT guns, but the Wehrmacht player opts to use his pioneers to repair and not to recruit. Panthers trying to dislodge the riflemen, capping the central victory point, are not able to do so. Rocket barrage coming down on the position of one of the 3 American AT guns. The AT gun is gonna be decrewed, it's not gonna be destroyed. A sticky was thrown on the Panther, and we have 3 Panthers on the field right now. Yeah, well, 3 Panthers can actually take AT guns head on should they focus fire them, and let's see if that is what is going to be happening. Actually, the Wehrmacht player actually attacks the Sherman for some reason. Now he tries to back off with his tanks, but he's taking fire from both AT guns. One of the 3 Panthers is going down. Engineers in the east trying most probably to harass the victory point there. As I said, the Panther, one of the 3 Panthers, went down to the fire of the AT guns and some stickies and some Sherman fire. In my opinion, the Wehrmacht player should have stayed in the fight, focus fire the AT guns, take them down, and then focus the Sherman, and he would have won that battle. In my opinion, he did not have to retreat. 3 Shermans firing on 80 guns are gonna kill it no matter what. Anyway, back into the game. 3 KC-8 squads, 2 Panthers getting repaired, 4 squads of riflemen, a Sherman and 2 AT guns. That's the composition of the armies for the time being. Victory points situation: 20 victory points for the American player, 321 for the Wehrmacht player. And once again, the Wehrmacht player makes his move for the center of the map, tries to take on the American forces there. He does not seem to be capping the central victory point. He does have to retreat with one squad of KCH. The other two squads are trying to hunt down an 80 gun, but the 80 gun promptly retreats out of the way. Second 80 gun now is most probably gonna be decrewed by those KC8s. Vet 2 riflemen in the house will probably provide cover fire for that 80 gun. 80 gun, of course, is out of position, is not facing the Panthers. Sherman is gonna go down to the fire of the Panthers. 80 gun gets decrewed. KC8 still around. Squad of riflemen, Vet 3, stays still near the east portion of the map, near the strategic sector there. Most probably they were sent there to cap the victory point, and now that's exactly what they do. They move in towards the position of the victory point. Sherman's, the Panthers still around, shooting on a rifleman squad in the building. They are not going to be effective anytime soon. KC8s have to retreat. They were pretty low on health at one member, and those riflemen capping back the victory point. There are a lot of victory points to go down for the Wehrmacht player, but he really... I don't know if his forces are enough to take on all those rifleman squads.
Enemy unit down.
And even a pioneer squad going down near the med bunker. KC8 still around, but Vet 3 riflemen. Oh, this is gonna be painful. A grenade even being thrown. KC8's health even lower. KC8's dying. KC8's dying all around. And that's probably GG. That's probably GG indeed. The American player does have a Vet 2 rifleman squad in the west portion of the map, capping that, actually protecting that victory point. His Vet 3 rifleman actually demolished, destroyed, I don't know, use whatever verb you think is appropriate. Two KC8 squads. They even now throw stickies on the Panthers. The 80 guns have moved in. They are gonna be destroying those Panthers anytime now. Attempt by the Wehrmacht player to harass the west victory point is futile. As I said, there was a Vet 2 rifleman squad there. And riflemen still around. Munitions piling up for the American player are gonna be used, of course, to throw stickies, which most probably are not even needed. Another rocket barrage coming down by the Wehrmacht there on the position of one of the American AT guns, destroys the AT gun, but both Panthers go down to the fire of the AT guns and the sticky bombs. And of course, I think at this time, although the victory point situation would suggest I can't talk, would suggest otherwise, the unit situation and the map control actually indicate that this game has been decided. So what happened? Well, it was a pretty solid game, I would say, by both players. That my greatest concern about the play is some decisions the Wehrmacht player made on not getting veterancy on anything. Even veterans level 1 for his tanks could have meant a lot of battles going the other way around, since, as we all know, veterans level 1 for tanks means they take reduced damage. On the other hand, veterancy for his infantry would mean that those KC8s would be able to stay in fights for a lot longer, even winning some fights, which is something that has not been happening at all, since KC8s in most cases either had to retreat or die in the face of vetted riflemen. So was the risk of the Wehrmacht player getting more units out instead of getting veterancy on the units he already had paid off? Evidently it did not, since the American veterancy piled up and was more than what the unvetted Wehrmacht infantry could deal with. Snipers all around getting down, tank battles, artillery from both sides. I think it was a very cool game to say farewell to 2.601. And with that, I'm gonna close this cast. I am hoping I'll get some time to play the beta later today, and I encourage you all to do so, since this is gonna be, the final release of the beta, and if there's any bugs, and by bugs I mean problems in the interface, in the way it plays out, in the units, in the maps, and all that stuff, we need to figure them out before the beta goes retail. So go play the beta. Farewell 2.601. You were great at times, you were stressful at other times, most of the times actually, but I don't think you will be missed. That being said, I'm Armakg, and that was a Common Furious Gamecast.